Gerber here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, I wanted to share with you my collection of multi-tools. Now, relatively speaking, in the YouTube gun community and knife community, this is probably a relatively small collection, but it's my collection and I thought I'd share. Now, I have these laid out in a specific way, the way that I sort of wanted to go over these with you. Let's go ahead and start with the rightmost that I have sort of set aside right here. This is a Gerber, one of the original Gerber multi-tools, and I carried this while I was in the Navy for years and years and years. This thing is about 15 years old, and I love it. It's relatively small, compact. I want you to take note of how little gap there is between these two pieces when it's closed. Flicks open nice and easy, and there's some downfalls to the first generation Gerber flick, for lack of a better term. First thing is, if you notice, there's some hex screws here, and these will get loose and you have to tighten them up. Also, you can see that little hole there, that ring. You can tighten up these plier head if they get loose, and they're nice and tight right now. And of course you get your standard tools. And the knives that they get Gerber put in this were actually pretty nice at the time. Where is the knife? There it is. So you get a nice sized knife. Now if you notice, also none of these tools lock, so I only recommend it for light use, but it really did everything I needed for it to do back when I purchased it, and I'm very happy with it. And I sort of want to replace this beater, this is sort of my beater, with another tool. So there's my original. The sheath held up fairly good, nothing special about the sheath. It has double stitching all the way around, which I like, but there's nothing really special about it, but it's held up through the years rather well. Now here's what I would consider, well, let's go here first. Let's look at some of these very low-end ones. If you're thinking about just cheaping out, you could go to Walmart and get the Ozark Trail piece of garbage. And I say piece of garbage because I don't know if this is a tool or an instrument. Listen. You're gonna love that spring in there. It's almost a toy. The head will move back and forth, and the quality of the tools is pretty substandard. It's very big, chunky, not very well engineered. The inserts are not bad actually, but I'll give it that. Winchester, this is a Winchester, will put their name on anything. The cheapest knives, the cheapest Chinese crap. Winchester, I'd be afraid to buy their guns right now because they seem to put their name on anything. I don't know. But again, the plier head will move back and forth a little bit, and the quality of the tools are pretty piss poor. I'm sort of going through this really quick because I don't want to have a long video here. I just want to make this a relaxing chat, basically. Got the blade. It's sharp. It's sufficiently sharp. The serrations dominate most of the blade there. But nothing locks. By the way, nothing locked in this one either. Nothing locked out. So, look at the scales on this thing. Just, it's like a toy. So, you know, $10 will get you that. You also have these small. This is a Leatherman. This is a Leatherman Micra. Really nice mini tool here with scissors. The everything is nice, high quality. Of course, nothing locks. This is very light duty tinkering kind of stuff, but really nice quality. Look at that, how well those scissors are engineered. Just everything has a nice tactile click to it. You know, very well made. You even have your tweezers. I love this tool. This is great. Very nice tool. I would recommend this. Couple bucks, not too expensive. The Gerber clutch. Also, this one has pliers. They also have a version that comes with scissors. Very well made, nice, tactile clicks. Sharp knife even is pretty decent for such a small little tool, all-purpose tool. Really nice. I would recommend both of these. Would not recommend $10 cheapy Walmart specials. Put those aside. I don't want them to contaminate my good tools. So if you had to get a cheap tool, what should you get? Well, I'm going to get around the other side of the tripod here. Your cheapies here for your Gerber is the suspension. For the Leatherman is the kick. Now the kick has a minimal amount of tools, but one thing to keep in mind is take a look at these pliers, because the same plier head that you get with the cheap kick for 20 bucks, you'll get with the Leatherman Wave. It's the same exact plier head, which is amazing. So if you're looking at a multi-tool primarily for the plier head, look no further than the kick. Inexpensive. However, the tools on the back here do not lock. They get a good click. They click in place really nice. And the tools that are there are pretty good. Let's take a look at the knife. Has a pretty decent knife. You can see how they clump when they open, which means the multiple ones come out, but it clicks in place good. You know it's clicked in, but you're going to use it for light duty. And it's kind of stiff, hard to function, but pretty good for an inexpensive. You can find them as cheap as 20 bucks. Now the suspension between $20 and $30 by Gerber, it's actually very smooth. It's like well-oiled machine, but the head is spring-loaded. But there is a little bit of play in the pliers, but it should be all right. Spring-loaded, really nice. But here's the issues that I have with this. First of all, the saw is a joke. What am I going to saw with this? Whoops. What am I going to saw with this little thing, a twig? This is funny. And if you listen, the lock is very quiet. It's hard to tell whether that tool is actually locked. It's kind of silent. Shh. The blade is kind of sad. Little teeny blade. They didn't. I guess there's no room for any substantial sized tool. The serrated. You get a nice pair of scissors in there. You know, not bad at all. The tools come up. They don't clump when you deploy them, and they do lock in place even though it's not a nice tactile click. But here's my biggest issue with this. And while I'm opening this, let me tell you that Bear Grylls multi-tool is the same as the suspension, basically. It looks the same. It has the same issues, by the way. Okay, the head is closed, but look how far apart the handle is. I'm already stretching my hand, and I have pretty big hands. So when you have that open, look how far my hand is open. This is an engineering issue. Whoever engineered these things is a retard. Terrible. So it's hard to really clamp down on something when your hand is so far, extended so far. So I don't recommend these because of all of these issues. Even though made in China, but it's very smooth, very smooth. So for cheapies, I recommend the Leatherman. Now, again, I was looking for a replacement for this, and this I would put in the light to medium use category. So these are the possible replacements right here, the medium use Leatherman and the Gerber. So this is the Gerber MP 600, and a lot of military units get these given to them. And this is the Leatherman Blast, which I just picked up just a little while ago. And if I let me show you a couple of things between these two. Taking a quick look on the outside, you can see how there's no gap. It's nice, small, compact, well made. This thing has gaping holes in the middle, and the pliers stick out. There's nothing graceful about the MP 600. These both run in the same category, around $50 and everything. Now, What's funny is, like, this is the current generation tool here by Gerber, and look how nice their first generation is compared. You know, it's really a disappointment. They're really taking a step backwards. They need to get some engineers hired in Gerber to put together some better tools. Now, a lot of people have issue with the old rattle. You know, these Gerber's thing is flick. These are new, so they don't, there we go, flick out. One-handed flick. Really nice, but because of that, you got the little rattle. But if you're clamping down on something, it's tight. So don't worry about it. It still functions good. They took care of the screws getting loose by making something more permanent, spring-loaded clips. And the head doesn't get loose. You know, there's no adjustment. There's nothing to get loose on it. And there's no play on the head at all. But let's take a look at this. This is an issue that I have. Listen to the click. No click. Didn't hear it. How do you know your tool is locked? Your knife is locked? And you have to watch this little slidey thing right here, because it does lock. You can see that move forward, and it locks in place. This is plastic. Not too happy about that. Not too happy about that particular kind of knife. And also this finish that's on here got all over my hands when it was new. I mean, turned my hands black. So I don't know. The tools are okay. There's nothing wrong with them. When you pull one out, they don't all come out. They stay in place. There's washers between them. Really good. Another issue I have with Gerber is, let's take this file out. If you notice, it's smooth here on both edges, so there's no file here. Like if you wanted to put a notch in a piece of wood to make a improvised tent stake, you can't do it with the edge of the file. There's nothing here on both edges, just on the sides. So overall, this is kind of a disappointment for the amount you pay for it. And here's the funniest thing of all. Okay, this is black. We're being stealthy, right? Because it's black. We don't want a reflection. Really stealthy. Shh. Stealthy. Here's the case that came with this. Remember, we're talking about stealth. Listen to that. The world's loudest freaking Velcro case. If you're going to have a tool that you're making black because you're trying to be stealthy, how about making a fastener on the sheath that's also stealthy and quiet? That's hilarious to me. On the other hand, the medium-priced Leatherman Blast is again, you get that nice Leatherman plier head, no play, no problem. And here you get the file that actually has something you could use to notch. Now, if you notice, this locks, and when it comes out, the tool comes out, you get a nice tactile click. Has a nice pair of scissors, has a really nice long saw, and the blade in this thing is a nice long functional blade. Now there is some quality control issue right here. You can see there's a little bit of machining snafu right there, nothing that would affect the blade. And by the way, all of these are very sharp, so they'll cut paper out of the packaging. But I love the way that the Blast clicks when you open it. Nice, solid sounding. And you got the plastic insert here, so it's fairly comfortable if you're using the pliers. By the way, so did the kick also has that plastic insert in there to make it comfortable to the hand. So really nice tool, and this is probably going to end up as my beater everyday carry multi-tool. I really like this. This is very well made, and it has a lot of tools for its size. Really like it. And let's move over to the higher end stuff. Here is the Gerber Legend and the Leatherman Kick. Both of these are, I'd say around $70, bucks, maybe even 90 for the Legend in some places. Look at the size of the Gerber. Huge. These inserts, I've seen some videos where people say these rubbery, spongy inserts come out. The head is pretty nice. It's impressive. It's spring-loaded. There's no play. And you get this wire cutter. I believe it was tungsten carbide wire cutter. And you notice it's a triangle. You can loosen that screw and turn that around so you have 2 more edges to work with. So you got a total of 3 edges. So that's really nice. You wear one out, you just turn it around. So that's a nice touch. Big comfortable handle, I'll tell you that. Nice comfortable handle, but it's big. It's big. Big. Now the blade, ready? Ready for it? Oh, those are the scissors, which are fine. The blade, ready for it? There's your blade. It's okay. Partially serrated. The tactile click to this is also quiet. You can see it slide forward there, the lock. I don't like that. I want to hear a good solid click. Let me know that thing is open and locked. Another disappointment was what they give you for a saw. It has this like non-skid glued to a piece of metal here, but it's interchangeable, and you could probably put a regular saw on there if you had to. But this gimmick here, it's kind of gimmicky. Remgit, I don't know. To me it seems like a gimmick. It might be good, but right now, unless I'm told otherwise, I'm not buying it. And here's another funny snafu engineering wise. Here is the file. I'm trying to get it out now. You see where that thumb catches to pull it out? It actually ends up behind the other tools, so you can't get your thumb in there to get it. So you just got to grab it here. So I don't know what they were thinking when they designed that. And of course all the other tools are fine. They give you like a million flathead screwdrivers in this thing, but a nice pair of scissors, and you got a Phillips in there. But it's big, it's heavy. The only thing heavier on the table besides this is actually the little Gerber suspension. Their cheap wood is heavier. This thing weighs a ton. It's like almost 9 ounces, like 8.8 ounces. This guy's like 8.6 or something like that. So, and here it is, in my opinion, the best tool on the table. It's the Leatherman Wave. Has everything that's good about the Blast Plus, because what they do is they put some of the tools on the outside to make it so it deploys very easy. As a matter of fact, this has every tool that the Blast has plus one, which is the serrated edge there, the serrated knife. And of course you get the regular knife. Look at that knife, it's gorgeous. And it's on the right way so you can cut easily while it's closed like that. Nice and sharp. And if you notice, there's a good click when that opens. You get a nice tactile, so you know it's locked open. And again, that same Leatherman head that's on all of these. Really nice. And they have these security torques in here, so you know you have to go to a computer store probably to find the security torque, but you can tighten this up if you want, if it gets loose. And you know, again, I'm just breezing through these really quick. Nice pair of scissors, nice little screwdriver for eyeglasses. By the way, I didn't cover that, the Blast. That's a good tool to have if you wear glasses like me. You have that little eyeglass tool in here somewhere. There it is. See that? You could turn it around. One side's flathead, one side's Phillips. Really nice. So you get that here. But this is a heavy tool. It's expensive. Don't want to really use it as my beater right now. But if I had one choice of tool for survival of everything on this table, yeah, it'd be the Wave. For everyday carry and use and abuse, for me right now is going to be the Leatherman Wave, which is going to replace my good old Gerber. This is the Gerber I like the most, their first one. It's just so compact, well made. And they really went downhill from there. So, and this is relatively lightweight too. I wouldn't, don't go crazy with torquing down something with the screwdriver. Let me tell you, by the way, that's a nice screwdriver on there, but if you have this closed and you're like really torquing it, this body is not made for some serious torquing down. I would be careful. You'd probably loosen the handle on this thing, because this metal's not too thick. This is made pretty lightweight, but this is not made for heavy use. So there you have it. It's quite obvious now that my choice of multi-tools right now is Leatherman over Gerber. Absolutely. Now, I did not include Victorinox or your Swiss Army tools because I'm sort of sticking to the classic multi-tools. There's a lot of other multi-tools out there that are very specialized. They have more gimmicks and everything, but these are the basic multi-tools. So there's my collection. Just wanted to share that with you and go over some talking points and things that I've discovered while collecting these, and thought I'd share them with you. And the one thing that you should take from all of this, and that is that, in my opinion, if you're choosing a cheap, medium, or expensive tool, go with the Leatherman over the Gerber for now. At least at the time of videotaping this is what I prefer. However, the small guys, doesn't matter, they're both good. And stay away from the junk at Walmart. By the way, one other quick note. Everything here is made in the US with the exception of the cheap Gerber. This one's made in China. The one that's smooth. The one that feels nice and smooth is made in China. How about that? But it's engineered by retards. Just like this is engineered. I don't know. Gerber, please hire some engineers that know how to make a multi-tool, and you could probably put something together that's competitive with Leatherman. That's all I got to say. As far as general purpose tools. So again, I'm trying to keep this short, so I really didn't go over sheaths very much. But the Leatherman sheaths, as far as like for the blast and the wave, are identical, and they're very well made, and I think they're the best because they're the most compact and small for the size that's in it. You get the Gerber MP600, and the thing is huge. It's a big, flat, general purpose piece of garbage. It is double stitched though, and I don't know why, but Leatherman chose not to double stitch everything. But the material is very good. So one of the criticisms I have with Leatherman's medium and expensive ones is at least the sheets that came with mine are just single stitched. Now I know that you can buy different sheaths depending on where you buy them and everything. Some are partially leather that came with the wave. It all depends on where you bought it, and if you paid a little more for a better sheath or not. I don't know. The Leatherman, I'm sorry, the Gerber Legend actually is double stitched also, but again, it's a big sheet. The material kind of sucks actually. Come on, Gerber, you gotta step it up. I used to love your multi-tool, your first one when it first came out. I thought that flick was just so cool, and it was great. Oh, I almost forgot. Real important point. Again, the top of the line Legend. Here's a serious issue. That head that's so nice. That's as far as it opens. it's like 15/16 of an inch, just under an inch. That's it. Who the hell engineered that? It won't open anymore. You can't get this thing around anything substantial. What a joke. I'm telling you, Gerber, you better hire some engineers soon because people are going to get sick of this crap. And if you like Gerber, I'm sorry. You know, Gerber has some other models out there which are pretty neat. The Grappler, I think I saw, it's sort of like a vice grip. That's pretty cool. So maybe they got the engineers the good ones working on the specialized stuff. I don't know. So that's it. That's my collection of multi-tools and my 2 cents on all this stuff. Again, this is my opinion. You can take it or leave it. If you don't like the words coming out of my mouth as far as this stuff, then I'm sorry you made it all the way through to the end of the video. And I'm sure I'll hear about it in the comments. But, you know, I appreciate everybody's inputs. And I appreciate friends, viewers, subscribers, and for those of you that keep on coming back for some unknown reason. And thank you very much for visiting the Gear Obsession channel. Have a great day.